I've always been pretty happy with playing a deck with like Force, Bob, and Goyf. Like your deck is bordering unfair, but you are still doing some kind of unfair things.
Yeah.
Where like you like trade all these cards and then you play a creature that just kills them in 3 turns. So like they have a very short window. So if you're on the upper end of the coin flip, like you're definitely going to win a lot of matches where they just like don't peel a Vindicate or a Swords or whatever. And that's kind of what started happening to me. It was like I was on the bottom end. So like resolve a Jace, and then if I get to untap, I definitely win. And then they like have their turn to draw a Vindicate or whatever. So that definitely sucks, and that's part of the problems with like playing discard too instead of just a bunch of counter spells. But I mean, you play well, you run a little well, and like that deck can beat any deck in the format.
Him is good against any deck in Magic, pretty much.
Yeah,
right?
I mean,
So
as long as they're not dredging, I guess.
Yeah, I
like,
guess. And even though you just get lucky and hit their like Tireless Tribe and their breakthrough or something.
Yeah,
you
sure.
know?
Little side note here, Peter, this is a last-minute audible to Team America. I was talking to him last night, and he was playing a Gamekeeper deck that I was pretty excited about.
Gamekeeper's sweet. I like that card.
Now he is not playing the Gamekeeper deck anymore. He is playing Team America.
So
no fun.
So we're entering into round 2 here. I'm Gavin Verhey, joined by Jacob Van Lunen and co-host Jerry Thompson. And we're about to watch a match between Caleb Durward and Peter Sjostedt.
Peter S.
Peter S. We'll call him. Caleb playing black-white a dead guy Aelish deck, Stoneforge Mystic, Dark Confidant, kinds of things you would expect out of that deck. Peter playing a pretty typical Team America-ish deck.
Yeah, and it's Peter's birthday in 2 days. Actually, just met him a couple days ago. I already know that. He told me that. So happy birthday to Peter.
There you go. When he's probably going to watch this on his birthday.
Right.
Turn 1, martial arts from Caleb. Who do you feel has the edge in this matchup?
Caleb?
Yeah, I'm not so sure.
Stoneforge is really good, right?
Stoneforge is good, but if he doesn't have Vial, it seems like his deck is just like very clunky at the 2-drop slot.
So Caleb plays a fetch land and cracks it. Plays another. Looks like he's going to crack both of them. Yep, cracks both of them. And turn 2 play, maybe it's going to be Dark Confidant. That's often the 2-drop you want.
Yeah, it looked like he has Stoneforge in hand.
Or Stoneforge, another good 2-drop.
Let's see what he grabs here. That and a Scrubland, I assume. All right.
Scrubland down.
And he may just win a him.
Why not 2 Scrublands? It's kind of weird.
Maybe we're protecting its wasteland. I don't know why you want to get 2 Scrublands.
Yeah, but then you just want like Swamp and Plains, probably.
Right, exactly. What
Altered Stoneforge.
Stoneforge Mystic, okay. So this is an interesting question. So if you're on turn 2, like just kind of in the dark against a deck like this, do you play Stoneforge or Dark Confidant?
I think you lead with Confidant. I was just thinking about this when you actually presented it. I'm just like, I wonder what I would do. But I think you lead with Bob, because otherwise you play Mystic, and then you invest all this time to try and get the Mystic equipped, and you end up with like this dead Bob in your hand. Whereas if you play the Confidant, like they kill it, that's fine. Then your Mystic's a turn behind, and you already got the removal spell. But,
right.
I mean, if you go Mystic and they have the removal spell, and then you spend like 4 mana to try and equip that thing and then kill in response, then you probably can't even play Confidant that turn, and you're so far behind at that point.
And you're not drawing any cards off Confidant. And there's also the thing of like, I mean, I think the only weird wrinkle to that is if you want to, is if you're trying to bluff, like, play this so you can kill it so I can play my other thing, if you think Confidant's more important. But in the meantime, we've had some wastelanding occurring.
A day's in a wasteland, so these guys don't have very many permanents going on here, but...
Empty board for turn 3 here. And I think Caleb's going to play an unkicked Gatekeeper of Malakir.
Just a 2/2.
I don't know if I think that's right, but...
it depends if he has like an equipment in his hand or something.
I think he played the Mystic, so I think he has GTA, or the Mystic got dazed.
Yeah.
So I guess that'd be the reason why he got the Scrubland over the Plains, is so that he could
play Gatekeeper. Yeah.
Gatekeeper.
Yeah, I didn't see that card.
Yeah, interesting choice.
Yeah, I don't know if he's actually playing any Plains. He's packing Phyrexian Obliterators. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, Plains does not make a lot of sense then.
Yeah.
Serves in for 2, and there's another Mystic.
Probably just drew that one.
Forced from Peter.
Yeah.
I guess Caleb ran the Gatekeeper out there. He's already got a Vindicate and a Swords and another card that I couldn't see, so...
And there's him.
Yeah.
And that's huge.
Pretty brutal. Yeah, that Grey Ogre, that Grizzly Bear is going to...
have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, it's not going to do it all on its own.
That's the problem with like sandbagging removal against these decks, you just get wrecked by him.
Looks like he loses Vindicate and Swords to Plowshare, so he's left with whatever his mystery card is. Draws a Swamp.
Yeah, another Swamp.
Dashes for 2. And sort of fire.
So
It's a
he
good
did
one to
have an
keep.
equipment, yeah.
Out of the 3 cards in his hand, it's probably the one he wanted the most.
Well, that glyph is probably big enough.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah.
So we have sorcery, instant, land, creature.
So 4/5.
4/5.
Yeah.
And that'll.
That glyph's going to stay on D for a little while.
Caleb wants to see a Gatekeeper here, probably. I think that's what he drew. Yeah, how about that?
Yeah. And Peter drops down to 12.
How do you feel about Gatekeeper Malakir in Legacy?
It's pretty good, especially against these Goyf Bob decks. I mean, it kills every guy that they have, so.
Sylvan Library down for Peter. Not a creature, so that Sword Fire Knights will be able to connect. That's 6, 7, 8 points.
Yep.
It's a fast clock. That Sylvan's not
points.
going to do a whole lot of work this game, I don't think.
Yeah.
Oh, I know
only
he's
he's paying
Wasteland to kill
for.
the green. Just a brutal game.
Yeah. Well, that Unkicked Gatekeeper actually worked out pretty well.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, it seemed like he had to have an equipment in his hand to make that what he wanted to do, and sure enough, he had the sword, so.
So how do you feel about these like black and whitish decks like Caleb? I've seen a lot of people playing these kind of decks, and it always seems to me like they're kind of just like you have to draw the right cards in the right order, or they're maybe not fast enough. But Stoneforge Mystic obviously adds a nice little wrinkle.
Yeah, for sure.
How do you feel about like this archetype compared to something like Team America, for example?
Well, it's kind of cool because Team America doesn't have a whole lot of cards that actually do things. You know, they have a whole bunch of like setup stuff like Brainstorms and whatnot, and then Force Will 2-for-1s yourself. So Caleb's deck is just like all threats. All cards do something.
Yeah.
So, you know, he gets his hand hemmed away, and he has like his opponent has a Goyf shutting down his offense, but it's like he's drawing very, very live. Like almost every card in his deck does something.
Right.
So, I mean, that's one benefit to doing that. But like you're a little worse against combo because you don't have counter spells. You know, you're just like, all right, you know, like maybe I'll him you and hope you don't draw anything. Like you get to sweat for a few turns.
Right.
But it just depends on what kind of style you want. Like, if you want to be brainstorming and pondering and force willing and stuff, like that's one thing. But maybe you just want to get them dead.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of the better players often lead. Obviously, Caleb's a great player, but lean toward blue decks because they have Brainstorm and Force, which gives them just more play in the format. Which is why a lot of them I think veer towards Team America and want the blue extension. But straight black-white, I mean, gives you a ton of play too.
Yeah, you just don't have the kind of card filtering that Brainstorm gives you. But on the other hand, you don't have a whole lot of dead cards that you want to get rid of either. So
it's true, yeah. And like the package of Dark Confidant, Stoneforge Mystic certainly gives you a plethora of good 2-drops you can drop out there.
Yeah, definitely.
Plus him.
I don't know if he has Vial. If he has Obliterator in his deck, he might not. I don't know.
He does not.
Anyway, but like, yeah. Well, I mean, I can infer that just by like watching
obviously,
the game
if he has Obliterator and like Gatekeeper and
like
Gatekeeper's not something you really want to be vialing in.
So his deck is a little on the slow side. You know, he doesn't have a whole lot of good turn 1 plays.
Well, he has Ritual.
Yeah, I think that was the card he drew on the last turn. It was like a Saga Ritual, but
yeah, they didn't need that one. Ritual is interesting. It really makes you like. We saw it back when Chris Bakula made top 8 of the GP.
Lost to John Sonny in the finals.
Yeah, lost to John Sonny with the Goblins in the finals. When he had like a bunch of rituals in his deck, and over time I feel like a lot of the black-white decks cut the rituals because they're just card disadvantage. Like you play it turn 2, well,
Stoneforge Mystic makes up for that. Like if you're ritualing and you have like dead rituals in your hand, like if you draw them like on like turn 3 or 4, you can just like dump the mana from the ritual into like playing a sword and equipping it, things like that. Like
I think a lot of people
makes them a lot better.
I think a lot of people went the opposite way, where they're like, "Oh, I'll just add Mystic, and now like my ritual, like quote unquote, isn't good with Mystic or whatever." But it's actually really good. If you get, like,
I think
a Sword
that
of
the Mystic
Fire
actually makes the rituals better.
Yeah,
in my opinion, because like then the rituals aren't dead when you draw them like on turn 4. Or 5,
a lot of people
whatever.
just move away from that, become more mid-rangey, and their deck is less explosive as a result. And sometimes you can't really afford to do that in Legacy.
Yeah, I was surprised to see that his list didn't have Sinkhole in it.
So
it's like,
people haven't played Sinkhole in years.
It seems really good. I like that card.
I don't like it. Like, I mean, what is your deck trying to do if you have like Sinkhole and him and removal spells? You're trying to kill their hand, all their lands, and all their creatures? Like,
I guess you're right.
You're trying to perfect them? I mean, is that necessary? Like, you can just have Wasteland, which taps for mana, cast your Bob, and kills their land,
You're like playing a Sjostedt, and like you just keep like standing fierce kick, and they just keep jumping at you. Never ends.
Let's see. So there's turn 1 Thoughtseize from Caleb. Looks like Peter's cracking his fetch line in response.
I think he'll probably be casting a mental misstep.
I mean, with the
cast misstep or brainstorm, not sure which.
With the obliterators, like Dark Ritual seems insane, or because you just go like turn 2 obliterator or something like that.
Yeah.
Or Gatekeeper's pretty reasonable too. They go turn 1 Wild Nikado, you go turn 1 Gatekeeper. Pretty reasonable start. Let's see what Peter has here. Brainstorm. Probably looking for a misstep.
Or he can just hide key cards in his hand with that Brainstorm. It's something you can do with Brainstorm and Legacy that makes it really powerful. When your opponent plays discard spells, you can cast the Brainstorm and hide away your important cards.
Jace seems perfectly reasonable.
And Vindicate, I think, might be or he doesn't have Vindicate. What was the multicolored card? All right.
And he lets it resolve, even with a misstep in hand.
Yeah, he has a misstep in his hand. Weird.
I mean, that makes sense.
That makes sense. He has double Bob. He just like if his opponent doesn't take the misstep, then he has misstep to protect his Bob.
Sure.
Peter's good, by the way.
I believe it. I mean, normally, like I think if you misstep the Thoughtseize and you have double Confidant, and like sticking a Confidant against a black-white deck is so powerful because the card advantage is like they're going to try and attack you on cards, so you going up cards is really important. But maybe
well, with Caleb leading on Swamp here, if Peter gets to untap, play Bob, and then misstep his swords,
right.
Then he gets to untap with Bob a turn sooner. So he almost like has to take misstep, regardless, and then he still loses 2 life. Like he gets some information or whatever, but.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty nice play by Peter.
And then I think his other card might have been an Inquisition. So like if he plays Bob, gets it plowed, then he gets an Inquisition him and play Bob on 3.
That seems really good.
Yeah, so it looked like it was an Inquisition.
Very nice.
Yep.
And there's Dark Confidant. And yeah, so it looks like Caleb has double swords in his hand. But we'll see if he wants to go for it. It's kind of a tricky situation now because he knows that Peter has the misstep, but you have to burn swords on killing the Confidant somehow because it's going to be too important.
Well, he did Thoughtseize the misstep.
Right.
He knows he has the Bob. So like the way this is the situation where you get in where like Peter has sculpted this game so that his Bob's going to get plowed. He's going to Inquisition, see another he's going to see the Vindicate and the plow, probably take the plow, play his Bob. Caleb's going to have to waste his turn vindicating it, and then he has Jace hiding on top.
Right.
So he gets to play that Jace, and then hopefully Caleb doesn't peel an answer, and if he doesn't, like Peter's probably going to win. But Chrome Mox too. Chrome Mox is excellent with Mystic and.
Oh yeah. Turn 1 Mystic or Confidant, both very powerful plays. There's a Mystic from Caleb. Speaking of, all right, that one sticks, and then down comes the Jite.
Yeah. Now Caleb does not know that Peter hid the Inquisition with the Brainstorm, so. Peter's going to have an Inquisition for that Jite.
I think you probably have to take the Jite with it, right? But then if you know that he has swords Vindicate in his hand, and that second Confidant becomes a lot worse. So.
Well, his Vindicate's on the Mox. I think he just has Jit and swords left.
Oh right,
so he probably Inquisitions the Jit,
and then
plays Bob, gets it killed, and then plays Jace the turn.
Which is still reasonable. I mean.
Yeah, more than reasonable. He's definitely ahead this game.
Oh, he doesn't even have another swords. Okay, so.
Oh, so all he has is a ritual. Yeah, then seems like Peter's going to do pretty well this game.
Do you think he should have ritual last turn so he could have cast the Jite too?
He does know his opponent has days, but he also has discard too, so.
Kind of like which he has kind of thing.
Yeah.
I guess it is. Oh, but he knew Peter has the days in hand, right? Or no?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
No, I think it depends on like what you think is most likely your opponent hit on the top of their library with Brainstorm. Bloodstained Mire comes down. There's Ritual.
What is this casting? Obliterator. Now he's going to Ritual out the sword.
There you go.
Seems pretty good.
So he has 2 floating right now.
And this is exactly what we were talking about, how the rituals used to be dead when you drew them late, and now they're pretty good.
I think I saw 2 when he was flipping through his deck in the first game, but I could be wrong. I also don't know.
He has 2 Jit and a Sword of Fire.
But he might have sorted one out. He might have sideboarded one out. I don't know.
That's true. He may also have like
from his library that he's flipping through.
Yes, it is a
That is a powerful Magic card.
Turn 1. Ritual. Batterskull.
Go.
Beats a lot of people.
One time, don't force a will. What do you think you grab if you're Caleb here? Sword, Batterskull?
Jit. If he has another Jit in his deck. If not, I get Sword of Fire and Ice. Oh, he has. I didn't even know he had that in his deck. Yeah, that's definitely the best card to get.
Caleb, all kinds of tools all over the place.
Mystic has gotten significantly better in the last couple months.
Yeah, it is insane. You can Mystic for Baneslayer Angel, Mystic for 2 insane swords, Mystic for all the good swords from Mirrodin. And you're just going to cast that, I presume? Or Violet in with Mystic?
Yeah, seems like just Violet in, equipped to the untapped one.
Yeah. Oh, or not. No equipping this turn. Oh, it just serves for 1.
That actually seems fine.
Yeah, it could be relevant.
Dark Confidant flips him to Turak. Okay.
Not very good right now.
Not so good.
Very good a little bit ago. Not very good right now.
But he still has that Jace, right?
He does.
So
it's still tough. Like, bouncing Mystics is not the best option.
No. You probably just play it in Brainstorm. I mean, if you play it. I can't quite see what else is in his hand.
Yeah, me neither.
Does he have double blue? He doesn't, right? He has
a fetch land.
Yeah. Is that a Tarmogoyf? Might be a Goyf. Alright, so he Wastelands away, Scrubland.
And then ships.
Interesting. Alright, well, it's definitely equipping this turn. Caleb cracks Bloodstained Mire. Oh. Response. What kind of card would respond to a Bloodstained Mire crack here?
I'm not sure.
Maybe Blue Source Stifle? I don't know.
Well, let him pick up his deck. So I don't think it's Stifle.
Maybe it's just one of those, oh, well, you're doing it, so I'll do it too kind of things.
Whenever someone does that against me.
Save some time.
I mean, I appreciate that they're trying to save time, but a Vidalian Click. Okay, that's a pretty reasonable card to do. Well, that's actually one of my favorite times to cast Click is in response to a fetch land, because you know they're going to cast something if they're doing it on their main phase.
Cards are really good against Stoneforge Mystic too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's actually really good, because if they're cracking at main phase, you know they have a spell.
Yeah,
and then, like, if it's an important spell, you get to see it, and then you can bottom it.
That was really relevant and extended with the blue-white Blade deck. So Click resolves. And I guess, is he deciding who to target?
I wonder if there's some dispute over whether or not he let him fetch or something. Bitter Blossom.
Bitter Blossom.
That's a cool one.
Oh, wow, that's awesome with equipment.
It's another Dark Confidant and another Stoneforge Mystic.
You know what cards go with Bitter Blossom? Braids.
If only.
Dark Ritual Braids?
Dark Ritual Braids go. Flagstones of Trocare.
I will never beat that.
Dark Ritual Braids go. So I let them keep the Bitter Blossom. Man, he's got the unholy trifecta: Dark Confidant, Stoneforge Mystic, and Bitter Blossom. He has all 3 in his deck of the maligned 2-drops.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense for him to play Chrome Mox in his deck for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Like any one of those cards on turn 1, it's just a total beating. Is there some kind of dispute, or is Caleb just thinking? There are hand gestures being made.
I was gonna say there's a lot of hand motions going on here.
Rashad, can we find out what's going on?
Yeah, there's.
I think they're talking to the judge about something. And so most likely, assuming that things stay as they are, as if you're Caleb, do you equip the sword and bash here, or do you just play Bitter Blossom?
I think I saw him draw a card, so I think he might have taken the Bitter Blossom.
So what people are saying on Twitter is that by searching his library, that means he gets priority back first. So by cracking fetch lands, he gets priority back. But his opponent seemed pretty clear that he was like wanting to crack his fetch land in response.
Yeah.
So it was like a shortcut kind of thing.
That's what I thought the initial dispute was over, whether or not he got to crack that mire.
Yeah,
but then he showed him the Bitter Blossom, so which is really weird.
He showed him the card. I don't understand. Like, you can't back up now. And also, like, when he cracked the fetch land, that's immediately when his opponent cracked the fetch land. And then he just started searching. So I don't understand, like, I don't know. I guess it's not. It's probably just a player dispute. They'll probably
just communication issue. We'll find out pretty shortly what happened. But
what they should probably do is he just puts the land on the side, V-click resolves, then the land comes into play.
Right.
And the game states exactly how it should be, right?
So that
if his opponent, if Peter said that he was responding to the fetch, if he did not, then he just did something when he didn't have priority.
So if you're Peter, then do you take the Bitter Blossom with V-click?
He probably has to. I don't see how he wins the game otherwise.
Right.
But
get the shit.
I don't see why it matters. Like, if I were Caleb, I would still want to just, like, equip sword and jam. So it doesn't matter. Like, you're going to give him a chance to Vendilion click you no matter what. You like, don't care if he, like, chumps your sorted guy and takes your Bitter Blossom. It doesn't matter. Like, you're so really ahead.
Just crushing people.
And just because even if he, like, did mess up and basically showed you Vendilion click, it's not like you just cast Bitter Blossom. You still want to equip sword.
Right. And like equip sword on a Stoneforge Mystic doesn't trade with the Vendilion clicks. Like he just throws away the click.
Exactly.
And, I don't know. Takes care of that. Well, that was exciting.
Drama where there should be no drama.
Drama. There should be no drama. Kind of like your what you said. Your article this week. Something crazy happened to talk about.
That's what Drew said. I don't know.
Potentially. You guys will have to find out. Everyone was asking yesterday. We got tons and tons of tweets like, how's Jerry doing? How's Jerry doing? Yeah, and you know, figured there's probably a reason why. So you can find out reading his article that'll go up this week.
That wasn't like the reason why. I mean, I ended up losing that match, and then dropped when I had 2 losses.
Sure. Yeah, it's interesting format how it's taken a turn. Standard in that Cobblade is still the dominant deck, a very large.
It was never
turn.
close. It was never close.
Exactly.
The new sets come out, people want to play with their cute little Splinter twins and stuff, but it's not.
What kind of people are going to get on that? Can we show the camera? No, definitely not. All right. There's an awesome card in Jerry's sideboard right now. But when he makes top 8, you guys will find out what it is.
1 second. I'm just going to take a look here.
So, how do you feel your matchups are with this slightly changed version? Like, what do you feel are the decks you still don't want to play against with your Enlightened Tutor sideboard?
I don't want to play against anyone that plays slow.
That is a good answer.
I'm fine playing against Merfolk. I'm fine playing against Dredge, Affinity. I'll be fine.
So just any matchup, as long as they don't play slow?
If they don't cast a Sensei's Divining Top against me, I'm good.
Speaking of top, like, is Counterbalance a reasonable thing to do these days, or are those decks just outmoded by Do You Feel Your Standstill deck?
I don't know. The format's kind of weird. Like, there are missteps, so your tops are not as unkillable as they were before. No one's going to force a will your top, but misstepping it is, very, very good, obviously. So, and then, like, the format is so strange. Like we said, it's, like, more regional than anything. You don't know what kind of metagame you're going to walk into, so you come to one of these events with a Counterbalance deck, you're just like, I'm going to counter everyone's 2s and 3 drops. And then you're just like, you play against Caleb, and he Rituals Out Obliterator or whatever. You're just like, ugh.
Well, also, here's the problem with Counterbalances.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Drew Levin from the trees.
Yeah, you all right, so Drew Levin coming into...
So the problem with Counterbalance is that you really can't afford more than, like, 16 ones. And, like, you have to play Brainstorm, you have to play Sensei's Divining Top, you have to play Swords to Plowshares. So if you're protecting your tops with mental missteps, you can't play Enlightened Tutor. And if you don't play Enlightened Tutor, then all of the 4 Jace decks are probably just going to wreck you anyway. Because, like, how many 4s can you reasonably play if you can't reliably get one with Enlightened Tutor?
Sure.
Like, are you playing 4 Jaces? Then, like, how many 3s do you have? Like, are you just getting wrecked by Vendilion Click? Like,
and at this point, your deck is 80 cards already.
Right. Like, pick your poison. Because your Counterbalance is not reliably countering every single spell. And if it's not reliably countering every single spell, then, like, is it just a value card? Like, should you just be playing Standstill instead and, like, playing actual counterspell?
Sure. Oh, it looks like finally got resolved. So what's going on here? Let's see. So he got a Scrublands. So for those of you who are just joining the game in progress, what happened is Caleb cracked a fetch land. It looked like Peter was trying to crack a fetch land in response, and then, like, this play of Vendalion Click, and then Caleb like showed him Bitter Blossom from his hand, but it was unclear what happened after that, and the players had some kind of dispute.
Oh, I see why the dispute was, because he drew a double white card.
Oh, there you go. So he shipped the Bitter Blossom, but he drew Mirran Crusader, and he wanted to change the fetch land because it wasn't a response. He wanted to change the fetch land to a white source so we could play Mirran Crusader.
This might be good if Peter just goes block and then draws a land. He can just like Jace Mirran Crusader. Because otherwise, I don't see how he's winning.
Oh, wow! He didn't block.
Oh, that doesn't help either.
Bob
into Force of Will. Traitor.
The old Mirran Crusader combo. The old Mirran Crusader sword combo. Seen that one in extended before and standard. Good stuff. Let's see.
So that's Vendalion Click, Bob Jace on Peter's side, and Mirran Crusader, Stoneforge, Sword of Feast and Famine on Caleb's side?
Yep.
No, the Mirran Crusader just got picked up. Well, it's 2 Mystics.
Yeah, it's 2 Mystics.
Two Mystics.
There's a Crusader in his hand. Those are 2 altered Mystics, for those who can't tell. They're
yeah, that art does look kind of weird.
Yeah. They're not what you would expect them to be.
Yeah, that's the worst 5 life that Peter's ever taken.
Down goes Mirran Crusader again.
Oh. He just didn't reveal for Bob, and it was a Tombstalker that kills him, I think.
Oh, that's the anti-combo Tombstalker Bob. And that's it. Caleb Durward takes that down. Man, that Bob was not kind to Peter. Force of Will into Tombstalker. Yeah. Just out of nowhere, take 13. Gross. Well, as it looked shaping up to be an interesting match, and then our confidant.
Take 13.
Yeah, exactly.